Hello and welcome to this episode of the Corporate Escapists TV show. I'm your host, Christine Innes, and I am so delighted because I have the beautiful Izdihar joining me. Thank you, lovely, for joining me today.
Thank you, Christine. Hello, everyone. How are you? Hope you're awesome. May peace be upon you. So great to be back. Thank you so much, Christine.
I feel as though I don't introduce you because I feel like I'm talking to my friends now. Like we've known each other for a little bit and, we've developed this really amazing relationship. And I put a post up the other day saying, if you need a dose of happiness, this is the woman who you need to go and check out because you literally put a smile on my face every time we talk. So thank you so much for that complete blessing that you bring to my life.
Thank you, Christine. It's always that, isn't it? Because, with social media, we're always surrounded with stuff, right? Like, I remember when I first got into social media, every time I see a post, it pulls me in different direction. Whether I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm happy, I'm ecstatic. So I think it's important for us to kind of like surround ourselves with the people that no matter what happens can ground us and lift us up. Because otherwise we can go all crashing down any moment of time.
Absolutely. Now, I want to say firstly, congratulations, because you are our cover girl for the September issue of the Corporate Escapists magazine. I am so delighted.
Thank you. Oh, it's a dream comes true, Christine. Yeah, thank you so much. Like, you don't know, like, since I was a little girl, I passed by that mall at the corner. There's this magazine shop with candies and ice cream and popcorns. Yeah. And I always see these beautiful people. And I'm like, oh, one day, what if, and then kind of like having like breakthrough on my mindset too, Christine, because look at me, I'm a Muslim woman wearing hijab. Like, who would want to see me on the global, right? At the very least, I probably can make it in the Asian world, right? But kind of having that mindset to know and trust goodness in people, that people see more than that, right, Christine? You and I, we see more than just boxes or colors or backgrounds or religion, what have you not, but see that person, but what they are fighting for, what they are believing in. So thank you, Christine.
My absolute pleasure. I was very fortunate the other day. I got to sit down and I had a cup of peppermint tea and I'm like reading all the beautiful stories. And I love your story because I really want to touch on that because there's a photo and I can't wait to share it of you and your family. And we've spoken quite a lot and I feel like I know your family. I feel, I've met your kids via Zoom and,
Yes.
all that sort of stuff. And, I think it's a really interesting topic at the moment is obviously there's a lot happening around the world and people are feeling torn about how to juggle business and with their family. And I feel that, both you and I, we're sort of learning these ropes and actually realizing that we don't have to compromise. We can still follow our dreams. We can still follow our passions, but it's also making, the family still a priority and, building that as well while we're building our business and while we're still doing work on ourselves as well.
Absolutely. Like I've always believed in both, Christine. Like, I always believe that I can have both. It's not an either or, because why do I want to compromise on my family over my career or vice versa? That was I was before, right? The mindset before. But now I'm like, okay, I can have both. How can I have both? What will it take from me? Do I need to let go? What do I need to create? Who do I need to have in my life? Like, for example, my kids now, they've started school. So they don't go to like physical school, but they have online school, which means they're at school, but they're still here. And in between the independent work time, they call it, the teacher just left them to do their work. But guess who has to help them? And oh my God, nowadays the curriculum, I don't even, it's embarrassing. I have a PhD, but it embarrasses me. I don't even understand what they're wanting, right? Like, it's embarrassing. But, how do I work it out? In the beginning, I was really frustrated. I've got calls, I've got this and this, but then I started to hash things out. How can I make this work? How can I support my kids? and then how can I have my work at the same time? So one of the things I'm kind of practicing is batching. Like, I batch things up. These are the days I do calls. These are the days I help my kids. These are the days I do my interview. These are the days I do creative stuff or video. So I know that period, that is when I need to do stuff. So for example, from 8 to 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be helping out my kids with schoolwork. So that's the time when I don't book any, like I block out my schedule so that like I don't get booked of anything, because that's the time they're needing me, to support them, math, language, PE, whatever it is that they need to support with. So batching is really, really cool. And it just helps me to focus, Christine, because otherwise I'm always switching
Yes.
calls, Facebook posting or social media or sales call. I'm always switching. And tasking will reduce effectiveness by 40%. I'm like, forget that, right? I need to be more effective. So just batch and focus on the day. Like Thursday is my call day,
Yeah.
Friday is my video interview day, Monday to Wednesday are my lead generation, client attraction, and 8 to 10 o'clock every morning is my time with my family. And I think it's important, Christine, to kind of have that distinction.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do something very, very similar. Like I have set days of when I do particular work. So interviews are Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Mhm.
Mondays is your admin day because obviously there's stuff that needs to be
The
set up
catching up.
ready from
Mhm.
last week, or and then also so I
Yes.
can plan the week ahead as well.
Uh-huh.
And also, I have another admin day on Friday because I want to make sure that there's any loose ends that need to be done. And then Thursday are my face to face sort of client meetings, or I'll do my coaching with my
Mm.
clients. But I don't start work generally until either 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning because I like to set myself up in the morning. I have my morning routine that I do, and
Mhm.
I want to spend time with my partner. I want to go for a walk, like, all those different things that get you
Absolutely.
set up for success each day. And I think it's really, really important.
Absolutely. And also with family and career, right? Like always have like schedule in time with your family. Like we had just had a long weekend. So I literally just came back from camping in the desert, right? For the 3, 4 days, whatever it is. So like always kind of like schedule that in. It doesn't have to be every week. I mean, God forbid I can't go camping every week, right? The prep alone just drives me insane. But schedule things in with your family periodically
Yeah.
so that when you're at the desert camping, you have got no reception. Christy and I, we were talking earlier, right? Like tuning off from social media, because that is kind of forces you to detox in a way, right? From
Yes.
all those things that you need to detox. So scheduling with your family, so that when it's that time with the family, it's your time with the family. When it's work time, it's work time. And always like think to have both. And the other thing, if I can share with all the amazing women that's watching this, is that like as women, we don't have capability issue. Like we've got the things that we need to make things happen. We have an issue with capacity. How do we
Mm,
grow? How do we expand? How do you put things in? So, like, my invitation is to have a look whether do you need to have people in to help you and support you to grow, a VA or like a social manager or something like that, or software or app that's going to help and support you. Like Christine and I, we're on a retreat. Actually, we're hosting like a virtual retreat at the moment for Wealthy Women Success Retreat, and that's just it. We have our own schedule, so we're just discussing, right, how can we make it happen without either having to go there or like coming up live yourself. So like the way I do, I have like a software that does things for me. I record things, set it, schedule it, and it's done. So I can step away. So have a look, like capability wise, we've got it, darlings, right? Christine, we've
yeah,
got it. We've got all we need
absolutely.
in here. We don't need to go to Tibet or anything to find ourselves. We've got everything all in here. Capacity wise, like as
Yes.
women, we're nurturers. So we're always nurturing and helping, but we're not an excellent receiver.
Mm,
So we always like, want to do things ourselves. So capacity wise, have a look. Who do you need to bring in?
yeah.
What system or software that can help you out to grow basically
Yeah.
setting things on automation. So that's kind of like my top tips to kind of like free your time, because otherwise, why do you want to become the slave to the
Yeah.
monster that you created? Doesn't make
Exactly.
sense.
Exactly. And I think that that's the biggest thing is that sometimes, as women, and I think that when you become a business owner, you feel like, it can be overwhelming because you are it. You have to
Mm,
do so much of it. But if you can find those systems that work for you, apply them, because what works for me may not work for you and vice versa.
mhm.
So you have to find your own. But when you schedule, when you batch, when you're present right there and then, it's amazing of what you can get done. So if you say to yourself, this is my work time for an hour, it's amazing what you can focus and do in that hour because you are present in that moment, and
Absolutely.
focused.
Exactly. Focus. Like, well, I always ask myself, like, how can I get this done the fastest, simplest, easiest way possible? Rather than having it in 10 steps,
Yeah.
how can I get it done in just one step?
Yes.
How can I get all my business work done in just 1 hour? What will it take? What will need from me? Who do I need to bring in? What software or whatever app do I need to bring? Christine and I, like, we've both like explored so many different apps, like, or software, or things like. And Christine with her magazine, she even told me I had to get people in to support me now because things started to like expand. So that's like another thing that I want to kind of invite to each and everyone who's listening. How can I make it happen the fastest, the easiest, the simplest way possible? Like the man, how we're being taught by man gurus is you have to work harder. You have to work longer. To what extent, Christine? Till you get sick, till you forgive, till
Oh yeah.
you like compromise on your family, you don't even see your child. Like men and women are different, right? We
Yeah.
have, even though whether you have kids or not, I mean, Christine's got a grandchild now, even though you've got kids or not, but still, to what extent? Like, why do
Mm.
you want to work 12, 14 hours a day? I don't understand. Like, it doesn't
No.
make sense to me.
No, and it's very, very true, because my old mindset was
Yeah,
that was what I needed to do. And that
that's
is what
it.
happened. I got sick. But when I've come back into, creating the business, it is working smarter, not harder. So if I say to people, there are days where, yes, I do long hours, but there is still a lot happening. But there are days where I literally only work 3 or 4 hours a day. And that's because I want to make sure that, first of all, I'm good,
Mm,
because if I'm not right, like, and physically and mentally, emotionally, all of that, you can't be the leader in your life, and you can't be a leader in your business as well. So it's really essential
absolutely.
that that balance is there, because I want people to really be leaders in their life, be leaders in their community. And to do that, you need to nourish yourself. And, I always go back and listen, the airplane, you put your oxygen mask on first before you help others.
That's it.
And it's what we need to do in life. And especially when you have a business, you need to do you first,
Hmm.
and then you can then help serve other people. And I think that that's so critical. And especially like when you're
Mm,
talking about, the family, balance as well, is that, you still have your time, you still have time for your family, you still have time for your business. But we've just chosen to work smarter, not harder at it, with every
yes.
aspect of that.
Absolutely. And like one of the tests you want to know if your business is running you or you're running the business is that step away. Like I went away for the weekend, for the long weekend to camping, right, at the desert. But when I came back, the work is still being done by my team. So it shows that, it may not be perfect, but still the work is being done. And like today, like we spent like my kids wanted sushi, right? I don't know, whatever, like came back from the desert, they wanted sushi. I'm like, okay. And like and then yesterday we wanted to buy some, but my kids are like, no, mommy, you make the best sushi. I'm like, okay, then. So I spent time today making sushi for the family for lunch. Like literally, like make the rice, make the thing, roll it and everything. Right. So
Yeah.
that is like for me really, and we were able to sit together as a family for lunch. And that in itself is a blessing, right, Christine? Like
Yeah.
with any family, at least once a day, you have to sit together
Yes.
as a family together to build that relationship and connection. It's like otherwise, American, like, you know, the Western style is always like mom and dad here, children here, like
Yes.
everybody is like scattered. The
Yeah.
Asian, the Southeast Asian especially, we all sit together as a family. So that's really important. So kind of like highlighting, like you still can have fun. I still can cook for the family. I still can run the business. I still show up for my retreat today with amazing ladies and, you know, like talking JV, whatever it is that I need to do this morning. And here I am chilling out with Christine. Like, this is not
Yeah.
work, right, Christine?
No,
This is
it's
not work.
I like, I tell people what I do, and they're like going, "Is that a real job?" And I'm like going, "Yes, it really is." Like, I am so blessed and privileged that, you know, I get to interview incredible people from all around the world, and that is my job. And, you know, I've built my business around it. So it doesn't feel like work. And I think when you follow your passion too, it never really does feel like work because you absolutely love what you do. So I love it. I know that you and
Absolutely.
I could talk all day.
Oh, we
Really
can talk
could.
all day. And I'm talking about the balance and everything, Christine. Just a
Yeah.
quick one. Don't worry about achieving balance because I don't feel there's no such thing as achieving
Yeah.
balance. Balance happens when 6 feet underground, we're in heaven, okay, darlings? That's where true balance always happens. But in this world, I feel that you just do your best. Some days it's more on business, some days it's more on family, some days it's more on yourself. And that is absolutely cool. Because some people, they, you know, they do this kind of schedule 3 hours for this, 2 hours for this. That is hardly reality, isn't it,
Yeah.
Christine? Like, it's hardly reality. So kind of
No.
like reflect on that, darling. There's no perfect balance. It doesn't exist. It exists in heaven when we're like
Exactly.
6 feet under the ground.
Exactly. I really started to learn just to sort of be in the flow with the business. And I feel
Mm,
that, you know, as women, you know, we are very intuitive people, and we
yes,
sort of know what we need to do. And when you actually in tune with yourself too, you will know when you need to. Like, I'm really starting to listen to my body going, you know what, you need to wind down. You need to have some time out. So it's okay if I stop at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I have some time out,
absolutely.
because if I'm not, you know, recharged as well, then I'm not going to be as productive as what I should be, because I'm, you know, you're tired or exhausted and you've
Hmm.
got a million things happening on your mind. Before we finish,
Beautiful. Hmm.
thank you. I I must admit, like, you know, as you would know, over the journey that, you know, the business has taken, you know, you'd learn so much more about
Hmm.
yourself. As we sort of finish off today, what would you say has been one of the biggest things that you've learned about yourself in, say, the last, say, 6 months?
Ooh, the biggest thing I've got to learn in myself is, I think, to be gracious with myself. Like, you know,
Mm,
you were saying it's okay to not work today or finish work at 1 o'clock. Just to be gracious with myself, and it's okay. And if I don't do things, things are not gonna crumble. Like if you set out a really strong foundation, like things just work out the way it needs to be worked out because it's a process. And I think most of all is to trust myself more than anything, because no matter if I have the best system, the best coach, let's say I hire Tony Robbins or something at $1 million, right? That's what he charges, $1 million for a private session of like a few hours. So like it doesn't make a tinge of difference if I don't believe in myself and my capabilities. And I feel that I've already got it in me. Like it's just here. Like even if I travel to places, meditation and everything, I came back like me, two eyes, one nose, like, you know, nothing changes like for me physically. So like trusting myself and allowing others to support me has been one of the biggest
yeah,
thing that I've learned in the
yeah,
last 6 months. And look at us. Otherwise, I would have met Christine or the other amazing women that's in my
yeah,
life. And trusting your gut too, isn't it, Christine? Like some
yes,
people, it's okay to let go. Some
yeah,
people, it's okay to say no to them. But those heck yes, Yes, let's go forward. Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And I think the more, and I love what you just said, because, you know, when you know yourself and you know that you've got it and that belief within yourself, you really do become, in a way, unstoppable force
Mm,
within yourself as well, because
yes.
you do push yourself even further. So
Mhm.
I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your amazing wisdom with everybody, but and also really being very raw and vulnerable with your story in the September issue of the Corporate Escapist magazine. I really can't wait for it to come out, and people are going to really be able to connect with you and really resonate so much with what you said. So thank you so much, beautiful.
Thank you, Christine. It's absolutely my pleasure and honor. And I hope people got value from this session. And let's take it for 2021, end of 2020 to 2021, and for many, many more incredible years to come, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm going to put the link so that you can reach out to the beautiful Izdihar below. She really is an incredible human being and has a powerful story. And I've had the joy myself of working with you. We're in a co-author book together, so it really has been an incredible experience. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. To all the lovesies that are listening, may peace be upon you. And here's to your success, to many, many more success for you and your family.
Oh, wonderful. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has joined me for this episode of the Corporate Escapers TV show. I am going to pop all the links of how you can reach out to Isidar and also myself as well. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and sign up to our mailing list as well, because you get sneak peeks of what's coming up. So thank you so much, everybody. Make sure that you live life to the fullest every single day and follow your passion. Love and light to you all.
Bye.